Okay, here's a video on how to find the exact and approximate magnitude of a vector from a graph. I have two examples for today's example here. So here's the first one. All right, so we want to go from the initial point to the terminal. So from here, we'll go 5 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 in the positive direction. And then we're going down 1, 2, 3. So that'd be a -3, which translates to our component form, of course, of 5 and -3. Now, when we do the calculation to get the magnitude, we'll do the square root. But because we know that anything squared is going to be positive, we can do absolute values as we put it into the equation. It saves on some of our errors that may happen. So if I do 5 squared plus 3 squared, then we get the square root of 34. We have 5 squared is 25, 3 squared is 9, 9 plus 25 is 34. This is the exact amount. So we put here the square root of 34. Now we need to calculate the approximate. So we simply put this in a calculator and we get 5.3095 and so forth. But because the 0 is the next one, if we're rounding to the 100th, there we go. Okay. So that's the first one. Let's look at another example real quick. Trying to turn the pen off. Okay, here's our second example. We do the same thing. We start here at the original, going in the x direction, so this would be 4. And we're going in the y direction, which is 3. Follow the same process we did before. So we put in the component form, putting x first, which is 4, and excuse me, y second, which is the change in y second. Good. Now, excuse me, we'll also notice that if we do the square root of the square of 4 plus the square of 3, we get the square root of 16 plus 9, which is the square root of 25. Now, we want to avoid the temptation of calling our answer, the exact answer, as the square root of 25. But remember that we want to have the simplest form. And if we put that in the calculator, or we take the square root of 25, we get 5. It is an integer that is the exact amount. We also really don't have an approximate, but if it's asked for on the computer for our homework, then you would also just put a 5 here. And there you go. You have enough to get started.